Hi cocktail lovers and martini fans and gin spirit fans. Phillip Jones, Martini Whisperer here. Thanks for coming by to another episode of Sipping Time. Hope you're enjoying the clips, and again, if you've got suggestions about what you'd like me to talk about, please get in touch. You know where to find me. Today it's going to talk about a very interesting Australian craft spirit label that comes out of suburban Melbourne. So in the gin kind of spectrum of styles, they talk about the classic London dry style. You might have barrel aged, you might have flavoured gins. And then you have a whole genre which is called, and some different countries have different names for it, either contemporary gin or new Western style or new Western gins. So these are like the new wave of gins that have come through the last 15 years or so. It's part of this renaissance of the golden age of gin, which we happen to be living in, which is great. So Imbue Distillery is a husband-wife project Mel and Mick shared, and this popped on my radar about 18 months ago. And they've got a really, really fresh take on their gins and how they go about them. And they've really embraced the fact that they live in a big metropolitan city. So they sent me a couple of weeks ago, so I'm taking a while to get around to this, and I'll have a full write-up and I'll give you a link below about them and about their gins. But I just wanted a quick clip just to introduce them to you. So this was their first, and their little baby bottles. They're very cute. Suburban, it's called, Suburban. Australian Contemporary Gin. See a cute little bottle here. And you just make out some of the labelling. It's got like the backyard Hills hoist and a dog, and someone living in the burbs in Melbourne, which is just great. But how's this for botanicals? Dandelion, prickly pear, blackberry, and fennel. Does it work? Yes, it does. It's absolutely delicious. And then since then, they've gone from strength to strength. And they've got like a whole range of ones, like there's one called the First Fleet with prickly pear. And as I understand it, they do a lot of urban foraging and grow some of their own produce as well. So it's not soft, it's very, very hand finished kind of product. Another one is called The Journey, and that has simply juniper, apple, and munchies, 40% ABV. So again, these are just really kind of very fresh, approachable, generous flavors, sip on ice, tonic. It's great. And another in the lineup is gin liqueur, and this time again it's got scented with honey, lemon, and vanilla. And you can see the colour here, it looks very rich, embodied. And I have to give a bit of a shake here with the honey. You can see that on a nice winter's evening even. Yum. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And the final one in the lineup they've sent me is barrel aged. And they've kind of riffed on this. So it's got the honey and spices and barrel aged. Now, barrel aged gin's really, really interesting. And you've got to think of it in a couple of different ways. Once upon a time, of course, there was no stainless steel. So gin never got transported on a ship, it was in a barrel. And where's the colour come from? Comes from the barrels, just like whiskey does. Whiskey's clear, ages in barrels or bourbon, etc. And it takes its colour and some complexity from the wood that they're using, whether it's an ex-sherry cask or a bourbon cask or wine cask and so on. Anyways, so it could be just for 6 months or 3 months, just varies, depends, and adds a lot of layers of complexity. What you end up getting with barrel-aged gins is something that can be akin to a light whiskey, usually a lot more flavour in terms of more, it's not so austere. So here you've got honey and spices. So I can imagine it's going to be a very nice sipping style on ice, but I could get creative in a cocktail. So Imbue Distillery, I'll put the link and details below and a bit of a write-up, so get to know them well. Really innovative, contemporary, fresh take on gin that really embraces where they come from, which is just great. All right, stay well, enjoy you. See you next time. Bye for now.